Blaine started hog hunting and controlling hogs last year down at Hayrick Mound there, and he has got hooked on chasing those wild hogs. So before bow season opens, he decides, hey, it's time to get out early season, get to chasing those hogs. Here we go.
Howdy y'all, B-Lots here, and welcome to Oklahoma to my first set in this brand new tree stand I just put up about 2 hours ago. As you can tell, it is rather hot, and I'm sitting over 2 water holes right here. You folks hang around with me right here. It's fixing to get wild and western, and as I always like to do, here, pig. Game over.
You know how to shoot that old elite, don't you, brother? Little meet and greet right off the bat.
Folks, I haven't even been in the tree. I don't even know what to tell you. I ain't been in the tree 5 minutes. And I already stuck a big old boar now. Yes.
Blaine, where I come from, they call that a woo big suey.
Oh, heck yeah. Right there he is. I don't know if you can see him yet, trying to self-film here. Oh, Mr. Boar is down. Thank you, Danny.
Now, Blaine, buddy, that's an old sad daddy right there.
That is a good pig right there. You got some cutters on him? Yep, sure enough, he's been, whoo, them bad boys are sharp too. The old pig could not compete with the elite. Check it out. Wow,
the old slick trick, done a little slice and dice on that hog. That's gonna be some good eating, Blaine. Now let's head to Kansas as Blaine heads to the family farm where he was born and raised to chase after an old sad daddy buck that he nicknamed Lotztastic.
This story all began about the first part of September. I was headed home late at night and this whitetail jumped across the road right in front of me, and I instantly knew it was a great buck. I flipped my lights on and tried to get a better look at him in the ditch, but he was already gone. Within the next couple of days, I had cameras all over my mom and dad and I's property. This buck jumped right into it. I knew he had to be in the area. This was early September. He's got to be bedding on there somewhere. Instantly, I really noticed this buck's character. He just has a beautiful rack on him, kind of a dark rack, and then he had that coat rack point on there, which I really loved. And then October came along. Now, instantly, I started putting cameras on trails, started putting them on rubs and scrapes, and immediately I started getting video of this whitetail.
Blaine, I love the way you use those covert trail cameras to find Lotztastic. That's the way you get it done, buddy.
It was just amazing to see him in full speed action, doing what he does, marking his territory and calling his home Lots Land, what I call Lotzville. On this property, my dad has a couple pieces of old farm machinery that he has parked by it. And in addition to that, he has an old hay trailer where we haul square bales on. Well, with the grass being a little bit tall, I knew that this is where I wanted to put up my blind. This is a place that he walks by, he knows that this stuff is here, and when I put this blind up, he's just going to not know it's really there, and it's just going to look like another piece of machinery. This is where I was going to harvest Lotztastic. I just felt it.
You can use it early season, late season, right in the middle of the season. It doesn't matter. Grunting, rattling, wheezing in a combination, or if you just want to have a grunt call and possibly a bleat call, a micro bleat, heat bleat, This is the products that get the job done, and it brings those big bucks right to the tree stand. You can choose to be a leader or you can choose to be a follower. I choose to be a leader. Get real with dual game calls.
So I got the blind set up. It took less than 24 hours to get pictures of the deer, less than 20 yards of the blind. I felt confident and absolutely excited at that moment because I knew it was all gonna fold together. So I start hunting. The first time I go in, I go by myself. I see lots of deer. The second time, myself and my girlfriend Michaela walk in. We have an awesome hunt. We see some great deer. My third hunt goes on,
And it is game time. I am rocking and ready to roll on this buck tonight. November the 1st.
and it is November the 1st. And I'm sitting on this whitetail. It is a cold, cold evening. The deer are piling through the area. I had seen almost every deer I had on camera that night, and I flipped up right at the edge of darkness, and I hit my camera, and I was out of video light. At that instant moment, I hear footsteps behind me. What do you know? He walks right out, walks right in front of the blind, and gave me a 15-yard broadside shot. But you know what? I didn't take it. I could have harvested that whitetail then and there, but it was so good to see him in person, see him in his home grounds, and watch him do what he did. Bumping the does, running off the small bucks, making the scrapes. I couldn't get any of this all on video because I was out of camera light, but to watch that was unbelievable. Now, I come up with a way to get in and out of this blind efficiently without spooking deer. I had my mom rigged up with the feed truck, the old farm truck, and I was gonna have her drive right down that gas well road, make a loop. I was gonna slip out of the blind, jump in the back of the truck, and get out of there. And that's exactly what we did every single time I would leave the location. And it worked great. I would have the deer right back on camera within 30 minutes. So a few days go by and a few more auctions under my belt. It's time to go back in and hunt this buck.
Oh, Blaine, that hurts when they come in there that late, right there at last light like that. But hey, buddy, you know you're gonna get another chance.
B-Lot's back in Lotzville in search of Lotztastic. Just got in the same ground blind. This is my 4th sit on this deer. I've got to see him one time out of this blind. It is a Sunday evening, and a lot of times Sundays can be very blessed and magical for me in the deer woods. The time change was last night, so it's gonna get dark just a little bit before 6 rather than a little bit before 7. So I just climbed in, it's 2 o'clock. Got the Elite rigged up, cameras set up everywhere, game hides washed in lethal, sprayed down with lethal. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Finally, it is November the 5th, and it's a pretty nice evening. It's not cold, 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 but it is pretty nice. It's cool enough to harvest this buck, so I opt to go in. November the 5th. And I'm watching this little buck out in front of me, and all of a sudden, look right outside the backside of my blind, and Lotztastic is 40 yards in closing to the blind. At this moment, I'm getting cameras running. I am ready to make this harvest. Finally, it's all going to come together. Well, Lotztastic walks right by the north side of my blind at about 10 yards, walks right out in front of me, and I'm trying to get these cameras running. I have 6 cameras in the blind, and I'm getting record punched on all of them, and he's giving me nothing but a rear end shot. I have no shot, so I'm being patient and being real easy, waiting for this deer to turn broadside. All at once, he catches me off guard, and he turns to the left and heads north, kind of on a rather fast walk. And I'm trying to get the deer stopped, and he just isn't stopping for me. Well, it didn't happen. He got through the hedgerow, and I was instantly, my heart sunk. I was like, I had the opportunity to harvest this buck, and I messed it up. I was hollering at him with the mouth grunts, just trying to get him to stop to shoot. And it didn't happen. He has got away from me once again. It wasn't 2 minutes, and he walks right back in and right out in front of me, just as the trail that he'd left on. He comes in, he's head on to the blind. I'm sitting there, all enclosed, blacked out, wrapped up in the game hide, have the lead in hand, and I am ready for action. I am ready to let this arrow fly. This is all coming down to this moment right here on November the 5th. He stays head on to me for probably a good 2.5, 3 minutes. And all at once, I have a small buck come from my right, and he turns to go towards that buck, ends up turning broadside, gives me a 20-yard shot. Bam, right behind the shoulder, double lung, goes down 60 yards from the blind. I didn't know that at the time, but it was a perfect kill. I just killed Lotztastic! Oh yeah! Oh man, I'm telling you, I don't even know if y'all can even see me in that camera right now.
Oh, dude, great shot, buddy. I guarantee you he's not going far.
Oh, how about that right there, folks? I've been chasing that deer. I'm like a wreck right now. It's November the 5th, 2017. My #1 hit lister in Kansas. This is the 4th time I've come in to hunt him. BBBD, triple BD, Blank's big buck down. That is Lotztastic, Lots and fantastic, and as I like to say, B-Lots magic is in the air. And here's a ritual right here, because this thing is awesome. Look at this. Elite Impulse. I love this bow like $1 million bill. I hope so. This is what it's all about. These are the special moments that I enjoy over anything. After I work so hard to harvest a deer that's on #1 of the hit list, to have all family and friends there to enjoy it with you. This is what hunting's about. This is what Share the Virtue's all about, and this is what we're made of. So thank you all for joining us. We're gonna get on the blood. Here we go. Look at right there. Holy cow, 2 big drop. Right on that, went through here. Okay, there's the blood right there on that. Hey, look right there. Lotztastic. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I gotta tell you right there, there's Mom and Dad, Carney behind the camera, B-Lots here in Lotzville searching for Lotztastic, and there he is dead right there. I can see the blind right there. I bet he's not 60, 70 yards. Carney? Yes, sir. Grizz trick treatment right there. Come on, bad boy, get on out of there. We'll get him out of here so y'all can see him, but I am tickled to death. That's the way to harvest them right there. 60-yard pile up, #1 hit lister in Kansas. B-Lots is tagged out. I love it, love it.
Odor control starts before you ever hit the woods. In this instance, Blaine used the enforcer zone before he got to the woods, and then, hey, he capped it off with the lethal. Great job, buddy. You beat their nose on a great buck, nicknamed Lotztastic.
All right, y'all, November the 5th, 2017, and I sit behind my #1 hit lister right here in Kansas on my mom and dad's ranch. I nicknamed this buck Lotztastic. It's not fantastic, it is Lotztastic. We pulled this hunt off tonight, B-Lot style, and all I have to say is I've got a lot of history this year already with this deer. I shot this deer tonight broadside at 20 yards. It was a perfect shot with the Grizz trick, slick trick broadhead, 100 grains. You've seen the knockout punch in the footage, and the Elite performed flawlessly, as it always does. And I was all sprayed down and lethal and tucked away in that blind. And after an encounter with this buck on November the 1st, finally on my 4th set, I was able to close the deal on this magnificent whitetail. This has just been an exciting hunt. I estimated this deer at 4.5, and I believe he is, but he is just a hound dog, Mr. Bull of the woods. I'm talking a huge body sitting right here behind him. And I'll always remember this hunt right here. Sharing the virtue. Thank you all for coming along on November the 5th, 2017. I'm glad we could ring it B-Lot style. And as I told you in the blind, B-Lot's magic is in the air, as you can tell.
To me, a special hunt is when you are able to tell a story. And that's what Blaine basically had on this hunt. And a special thanks to everyone involved in this hunt and participating, because hunting is about family, friends, and the outdoors, and God Almighty above. And hey, That is what the Creator provided us in this hunt. Thank y'all for joining.